Sir, we have an executive order on school discipline policies. Under, I believe it was the Biden administration, first Obama and then Biden, the Department of Justice issued guidance that made it almost impossible for schools to enforce adequate disciplinary policies. This created issues in the classroom for teachers and students alike. Basically, they focused on CRT and sort of diversity ideology instead of actually just enforcing the rules in classrooms to ensure a safe learning environment. This executive order revokes that prior guidance and puts us back in a place where hopefully the Department of Education can focus on education and teachers can focus on teaching in a safe environment.
And this was important for you, Linda, as I understand it.
Yeah, absolutely, because it gives teachers the authority now to have discipline in their classroom and discipline the person who is being disruptive. We took that away.
Trump has signed a new executive order. The executive order states that teachers are now allowed to discipline kids in the classroom. And honestly, that is a terrible idea. Discipline is done at home. If you're not the rightful parent to a child, you should not be allowed to discipline that child.
Is this a good thing that the teacher can discipline the kids in the classroom now? Is this good or bad? I want to hear your answer. I want to hear what you say about that, what you think about it.
We have an executive order on school discipline policies.
Discipline in their classroom and discipline the person who is being disruptive.
Now, I know I ain't just heard what I think I heard. I know I didn't just see a video saying Trump has signed an executive order for the teachers to now discipline your children. Can't discipline mine because I ain't got none in school. But what? Like, these kids are different nowadays. These kids are not finna let no teacher discipline them, let alone the parents. He wants to start a war, because that's all I believe that this is gonna do. Ain't no parent in their right mind finna let the teachers what? That don't even say. I don't care what they did 20, 40 years ago. Because when I was in school, ain't no teacher touching me. Period. You know what I'm saying? So for it to be now, like, no. What if these teachers had pent up, frustration?
This is crazy. Imagine they are not allowing parents to punish their children by beating them physically, but now they are allowing teachers? They are allowing strangers to beat somebody else's child? How crazy is this? Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you are doing well wherever you are. Just in case you see me for the very first time, my name is Sumi. I'm from Uganda. I hope you do consider subscribing on my channel. Today I came across this video, people complaining about it. It's a video about President Trump signing an executive order allowing teachers to discipline children in class. Now, many people are really confused what this executive order is about exactly. Is it about teachers beating children, like physically beating the children? Or it's about teachers punishing children in another way? Now guys, let us imagine that this executive order is about punishing children physically, like touching somebody's child and beating them. Americans, let me ask you a question. Would you allow this to happen? Would you allow somebody else to beat your child who is not you who produced this child? Now, I understand children of these days, they are quite difficult to raise. You cannot tell me that there is any other parent who would allow another person to discipline their kids. Even if this child is the most big-headed child, no parent would allow their kids to be beaten by somebody else. All I'm saying about this order being signed is a lot of trouble. Kids are going to literally start fighting with teachers. Some teachers are going to be maybe unalived, because now students will start maybe carrying even weapons and start, stabbing teachers, because they know anytime this teacher is going to come and beat me up. children are going to become even more violent because they will do anything to prevent themselves from being beaten. I have gotten a few clips from other creators that have reacted on this same video. I want us to watch them together and let me know what you think about this.
So Trump just signed an executive order about discipline in school. But let's talk about what's really happening. So Donald Trump is pushing for common sense school discipline, basically telling schools to not consider race when punishing children. But here's the wild part. Teachers and substitute teachers are being charged with abuse in the classroom of students when they take things too far. It doesn't protect our kids from grown-ups who don't know how to control their emotions. Yes, we need discipline in the classroom to make classrooms safer, not more dangerous. Not just for the teachers, but for the students too.
Now the liberals are all over the internet saying that Trump's new executive order allows teachers to discipline or hit your students. But here's the truth on that executive order that was signed yesterday. It does focus on how schools can discipline your students. The rule says that teachers and principals should be able to handle bad behavior based on what the student actually does, not based on their race or trying to meet any DEI or diversity goals. Now in the past, some schools were told to be careful if more kids of one race were getting in trouble more often than other kids. But this new rule says discipline should be fair and based only on behavior, no matter the student's race. It does not give teachers new powers to punish students. It just tells schools that they do not have to follow older rules that focused on race when deciding punishment. It also says that schools that are unfair with discipline could get in trouble by the government. So in short, Trump rules makes it clear that schools can discipline students for bad behavior without worrying about race-based rules, but it doesn't give teachers new powers than what they already have. So teachers still cannot punish by physically hitting your child or anyone else's child. You got to read and research for yourself because these people just say anything.
So I made a TikTok earlier about the executive order that Donald Trump signed saying that teachers can discipline our children. Some people were in my comments with a little attitude whining saying that he didn't mean physically disciplining. Well, what other discipline is it? Because when a child acts bad at school, don't the child already get disciplined at school by the teacher? They're made to stand in the hallway. They're made to write long sentences. Their parents are called. They have to stand in a corner or they got to write all the stuff on a chalkboard. So they're already getting discipline at school. So when you say he didn't mean physically disciplining them, tell me, what do you mean? What do you think he mean when he say disciplining them? What other discipline is it? There's mental discipline by yelling at them, suspending them from school, putting them on in-school suspension, making them complete extra assignments. So when you come in my comments and you say, oh, he didn't mean physical discipline, what discipline did he mean? We do know that these kids are bad. I'm going to say what a lot of y'all scared to say. These kids are bad as hell. They smart mouth as hell. They don't have any manners. They don't respect anyone. They don't respect their parents. And for their parents to sit there saying, oh, my kids, oh, you're one of the parents too. These kids are disrespectful. So yes, they do need to be disciplined. But for a stranger that's in office that our children has never met before, probably never gonna meet this man before, don't have the right to say that teachers can discipline your child. Any parent should be upset just hearing that. And the people in my comments talking about, oh, well, find something to do, bro. Because like I said earlier, putting your hand on one of my children is like putting your hand on me. Should no other man give other adults that's handling your child to protect your child and teach them the right, the green light to discipline your child? The only discipline a child should be getting from school when they act out at school is a phone call to the parent or parents, a note sent home, a bad report card. Get your butt up and stand over in that corner. I remember when I was young, like back in middle school, we used to get paddles. You guys probably don't know what a paddle is, but the paddle was this little shaped piece of wood, really smooth. And when you act bad, they have you bend over, put your hands down, and they'll swat you 2 or 3 times. I had a lot of that when I was in middle school, but that's unheard of. So the parents are not allowed to physically discipline their children because we get CPS called on us and we go to jail and we face jail time. But you're telling me a whole entire president of the United States that our children has never met before can give another adult a green light to discipline your child? So when you say, oh, he didn't say physical, what other discipline is it? Isn't the school already have discipline sanctions imposed on the schools already that they're allowed to do, right? They're allowed to kick the child out of school. They're allowed to suspend the child. You know, they're allowed to make the child stay after school for extra classes or courses. This ain't community service. You can't make them go out there and pick up dog poop out the grass and stuff like that, rake leaves. What other discipline is it? Some of y'all need to wake up and read the comments before y'all actually type that dumb stuff in the comment section, because that is the only other, I almost said physical. That's the only other discipline I know, unless you guys got some new type of discipline that I don't know about. If there's some new type of discipline that I don't know about, maybe some of y'all geniuses in my comment can teach me and enlighten me. What other kind of discipline is it? There's mental discipline and there's physical discipline. So let me know, which one are you? Team mental discipline or team physical discipline? Because some of y'all need to wake up or go back to damn school. Touch one of mine if you want to.
So the principal and his staff members decided to sign an executive order for principals and teachers to be able to do physical discipline to children in school. For me, the reason why that's red flaggy and a huge issue is we know that racism, racism is still here. There's only, Lord help me. Children will be targeted. They will be. Y'all ever grew up in school? Because this used to happen to me. And you knew that the teacher didn't like a specific child. You can tell by the way they respond to them. You can tell by the way they help them. Y'all ever grew up? See, some of y'all don't know nothing about that. See, I grew up at a time where the teacher, they used to treat the kids and treat them. Why would you do that? And we all knew she do not like you. She does not, just leave her alone. Don't even come to class, okay? But the way evangelicals been took their kids out of school. This was about maybe 3, 4, 5 years back ago. They all started taking their kids out of school, homeschooling them, paying for what you call them people to come to your house, tutors. They've been taking their kids out of school. I'll rest my case on that. But as I was saying, this is not good for so many different reasons, and I think we all know the main reason why. There can be so much inconsistencies with that. There can be jadedness. There's so much with that. And take your kids out of school, y'all. Take them out. Figure out, and that's so hard, especially in this economy. And then that's another thing. Now people backs is up against the wall. If they wanted to homeschool their kids, they couldn't. Let me tell you, if it was me, my kids would be homeschooled and they would be teaching themselves. I would be getting an older cousin, and the older cousin is coming to teach you. Because let's be for real, what we learning, think about this. What have you learned that you, we did 1 + 1 is what, 2 + 2. We learned that stuff. We do need that in everyday life, because your bank account, your bank statements, you do need that. You do need a little math. You do need that. Then the real scope and scheme of real life, probably after maybe 6th grade, you're babysitting us. Be me, because I'm telling you, one person touched my child. And see, people be having different spirits. People operate in a different spirit. They already don't like your kids. They already know the ones that they don't like, and they already been treating them. Now you adding on, you can do physical discipline. Don't you know people got anger issues? People got isms and schisms. I mean, some people just don't like little boys. Because I don't like little boys, I'm finna treat. None of this makes sense. It don't make no sense. I don't get it. Take your kids out of school, homeschool them, get a little cousin or somebody, let them teach themselves at this point.
Did y'all see Trump sign an executive order allowing teachers to physically discipline your kids within the classroom? How y'all feel about that? Because I wish my son's teacher would put their hands on him. I wish they would.
He's bringing back the old school days. If you act up, you will get an ass whooping from the teachers. Trump just signed an executive order, and I'm just saying to the teachers, listen to Trump if you want to. You put your hands on my kids, I'm coming up there and I'm gonna beat your ass, and I'm gonna wait for the cops. I don't care what Trump signed. Don't put your fucking fingers on my child, okay? But anyway, yeah, if y'all don't know, Trump signed an order for teachers. They are able to discipline children however they feel fit. I ain't with it, but we'll see how it goes.
And you know, that is why here in Africa, yes, teachers do beat children. In class, they make you lie down. Maybe you failed a paper. Let's imagine if the pass mark was 90% and you get 89, they beat you. And if you are the most brightest student in class and you get 89 and the pass mark is 90, they are going to make you lay down and they beat you your 5 strokes, hot ones. Here in Uganda, it's allowed. But of course, there are some parents who don't allow their kids to be beaten like that. They will come to class, they come to school immediately, and probably things end up going to police. You might cane somebody's child and you end up killing them. You know, to be honest, I don't agree with this. I don't agree with this. At the same time, here in Africa, in case a child does something that is very, very big and probably the school can't handle it or can't discipline this child, they usually send the child back. That is called expelling the child. You expel the child back home so that the child can come back to school with the parent. So they have to sit down with the teachers and the parents, and they decide on the type of punishment that has to be given to this child. Either this child needs to be given their 2 strokes, or if it needs the child to change the school, or if it needs the child to do any other type of punishment. But I honestly don't agree with the fact that a stranger has to beat another person's child without their permission. However much my child is the most big-headed child, I don't want anybody else to touch my child. So, I don't know what you think about this episode, guys. Just in case you've watched it up to this far, let me know what you think about it. Consider subscribing in case you haven't subscribed. And we shall meet again in another episode that I'll be uploading. I love you all. Stay blessed.